see. Good. Go ahead and check it on the app real quick. Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure everything is seen and heard. Give me 1 second. Checking 1 2 1 2. All right, cool. All right, this is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Jenny Hunter. And since 1969, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge has been teaching the so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans that they are the true Israelites and Jews of the Bible. With that being said, it's not only with biblical records, it's with historical records, archaeology, everything you could think of. You can't find that stuff too much. Like we have classes on the stuff, and you can get a little bit, but if you want to really learn the truth of the matter, you come into class, you come into the schools. Whatever schools in your area, that's where you want to go, because you have particular questions that a video may not go over. So if you do have a biblical question, a historical question, or archaeological question, it'll be good to go into the school so a brother could break it down to you 100%. That's the only way this goes on. It's like it's got to be hands-on. You're going to get some stuff that's online, and it's going to be a class that's being taught. There's going to be a particular question that you're going to come across in that class that if you don't put inside the comments, or if that class already been live and you can't ask your question, you're going to have to get into a school and ask those questions. If not, wait till a Monday or a Wednesday and tune into the Isupk scripture breakdown classes, and Jeremy Hyman will definitely take those questions and break it down perfectly. But also, if you do want to go ahead and have time put in, you definitely want to join a school in your area. And here in Chicago, we're located at 9909 Roosevelt Road in Westchester, Illinois. Anybody's invited from Monday to Saturday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And if anything, we also have a number on the website. You go to isupk.com and find a school in your area. Also, with that, go to isupk.com and also pay your tithes, because tithes got to be paid to the Lord. 10% of any increase definitely goes to the Lord's men, and that is right here in Isupk since 1969. Any other Israelite group, Christian church, or Catholic church, you are giving your money to the wrong people, and their gain is going to be your demise. With that being said, today is the Lashawan Qadash class, which is the Hebrew class. We have it every Friday, and what we do is, for the Lashawan Qadash class, we prepare you for Sabbath service tomorrow. This is a class basically prepping you for the scriptures going to be broke down tomorrow, which are in the more modern form of Hebrew. Also, they get translated into the English, and then with an actual breakdown involved. So it's Hebrew, English, and of course the breakdown of the scriptures that are being read. Let me see. I know I got right here. Hold on 1 second. With that being said, also like, share, and subscribe to Isupk Chicago, Isupk Gary, Indiana, Isupk Mexico, Isupk Southern Illinois. Like, share, and subscribe. You got to hit that subscribe button, so that way you could get all these classes when they're live. It goes directly to your phone, and you basically have like 5 to 10 minutes to click on them and get all this information, this biblical information that you've been looking for, that you probably ain't found anywhere else. Also, today is the Round Table of Truth. Right after this class, it starts at 8 p.m. We have Captain of 13,000 and Captain Mal Quad and his team at the Round Table of Truth. Also, we have a special guest. His name is Captain of 13,000, Captain Akkad. He will be in the building. He's a heavy brother in this truth, and you definitely want to tune in and see what these brothers conversate about, what stories are being brought up, and how Black and Hispanics feel about these certain situations. We say things that the normal Black and Hispanic person will never say. You know, and what I mean by that is we tell the truth of the matter, while a lot of other brothers who are Black, Hispanic, and Native American, they tiptoe around it, or they try to find a detour because they don't want to tell the truth. Man, just say what it is, and that's what we do at the Round Table of Truth. We tell the truth. That way, you know what I'm saying, we don't have no how you say, like discrepancies with what we're saying. We say it boldly and we say it exactly how we mean it. So without no discrepancies and stuff, when you're watching the Round Table of Truth, the brothers are saying stuff exactly how they feel, and it is what it is after that. Let me see. We also have a new Round Table of Truth YouTube, and I think it's the Black and Brown. Give me 1 second. I got it right here. All right, so let me see. Okay, so the new network that the Round Table of Truth is on, for some reason the old channel, it got flagged for some reason, but the new channel is Black and Brown Round Table Network. All right, so I'm gonna click on it so everybody sees. I hope everybody sees. That's what you want to click on. And anytime we're telling you subscribe to something, you hit the subscribe button, you hit the little bell, and then you click on all so you can get notification for every time we're live and active. So that's definitely what you want to do. It's called the Black and Brown Roundtable Network. With that being said, we're going to get into Lashawan Qadash. First thing we're going to do is this is what I don't want you to worry about at the moment, right? These right here. I don't want you to worry about the ancient or the modern. If you're a beginner, I want you to learn from right to left. Everything's from right to left. How to pronounce the alphabet from the beginning. A, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, ta, za, kwa, ra, sha, ta. Learn this first. This is your baseline right here. This is what you want to learn first, right? Everything underneath. All right? So that's why I kind of have it up here so you can take a screenshot if you can. Don't worry about this at first. Try to get the alphabet first. Everything from right here to right here. Just learn the alphabet. Then once you got it from A to Ta, then we'll go into the ancient. That's your next step. That's the second step. So first step is alphabet. You got to get it 100% from A to Ta. Then once you got that, you want to learn from A to Ta in the ancient. So A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta. Puerto Ricans and their roosters, right? A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Ta, Za, Kwa, Ra, Sha, Ta. So once you learn the baseline, now you're going to learn in ancient. A looks like a sideways A. If you want to go ahead and describe it in your own way, that's perfectly fine, as long as you know that form right there is A. Ba, to me, looks like a triangle going into a G form at the bottom, and that's Ba. You have Ga, look like a sideways 7, that's Ga. You got Da, looking like a triangle. You got Ha, that looks like a mirrored F with an extra line. So boom, boom, boom. That's Ha. You got Wa, that looks like a Y. Boom. You got Za, look like a Z. You got Ka, that looks like a 3-step ladder. You got Ta. It's like a Ta, that looks like a circle with an X in the middle. You got Ya, that looks like a slanted Z with a little line right there in the middle. You got Ka. Ka looks like a mirrored C with a V right here in the middle. You got La, looking like an L. You got Ma, looks like a W in air going into a Y form at the bottom. You have Na, looking like a V form going into a Y form at the bottom. That's Na. You have Sa, you have a line in the middle from top to bottom. A little bit from the top, you got a Z form, and a little bit below that, you have a line from left to right, and that is Sa. You have I that looks like a circle, kind of like your eye. You feel like your eye's in a circle. That's an easy way to differentiate I and I. So next one is Pa. Pa is like a J. You got a line from left to right at the top. A little bit from the right side, you come down with the J form. You got Taza. You got a line from top to bottom. A little bit from the top, you got the Z form. That's Taza. You got Qua. You got a dome shape at the top, or like an umbrella shape at the top. And of course, you got the handle going from top to bottom. That's Qua. You got Ra. Ra looks like a flag or like a four that connects. And that's Ra. You got Sha. It looks like a W. You got Tha. It looks like an X. It's just on the left-hand side right here. You elevate it a little bit, and it comes straight across. And that's Tha. All right? So right here is the ancient Hebrew. A, directly above. Ba, directly above. Ga, directly above. And so on. From right to left. Now, if we go into Assyrian, the one below it, the Assyrian is the modern Hebrew, or the Hebrew that is actually in the Tanakh. If you want, you can purchase the Tanakh on any type of book app, Amazon, whatever. This is your Tanakh. This is what we will be reading tomorrow for the Hebrew Sabbath service. You definitely want to get that. Also, let me go ahead and state this. All right, in the Tanakh, I hope you can see that. It'll have Hebrew on one side and it'll have English on the other. So that's how we will follow along when we're doing these Sabbath service classes. So definitely invest in your Hebrew Tanakh. It's written in the modern form. It's right below. Also, like I like to tell everybody also, definitely get your regular King James Version Bible and get your Apocrypha. All right? Also, get a Strong's Concordance or a Zondervan Bible Dictionary, because sometimes when you come across words, you can easily Google it, but if you want to go the proper way and actually learn on your own instead of letting Google do all the work, definitely get your Zondervan Bible Dictionary or your Strong's Concordance. With that being said, we're going to move forward. Now, remember, everything's from right to left. Directly at the bottom, that's how you will see in the Tanakh. So will look like a capital N type form. Then you have Ba that looks like a 7 with a base platform at the bottom. Then you got Ga. Ga that looks like, to me, and I always said it, looks like a female heel. Ga looks like that. Then you got Da that looks like a strong 7. You got Ha that looks like a 7 right here. And then on the left side, you have a little line that does not go to the top. It goes to like the middle. Then you have Wa. Wa looks like a stuck-up 7, like I always phrased it before. Za looks like a short top T. It's not a long strike at the top. It's a short strike with a skinny body in the bottom. Then you got Ka. Ka looks like a 7 right here. But then on the left side, you have a line going from top to bottom, equally to the other leg right here. So boom, look like a 7 with a line on the left side. And that's Ka. You have Ta, looks like a U shape. You have Ya, that looks like a comma, but there's an elevated comma. This comma is in the air, and that will be Ya. Next one you have is Ka, K-A. Ka looks like a mirrored C. Boom, right? And this is where it gets a little tricky for everybody, because when you're reading in the Tanakh, at the beginning of a word, it'll look like this. If it starts with Ka, it'll look like this, a mirrored C. But use these letters if letters above fall at the end of the word. So if Ka is at the end of a word, it's gonna look like a 7 with a slender body. So that means you can't get like confused with every other letter in the alphabet going down. You got to remember how this form looks, because it makes a whole different sound of the word, and you don't want to mess it up because brother's going to correct you. No, that's not the word. Nope, that's not the word. Come on. And then when you finally get it, boom, you got it. So if ka was at the beginning of the word, it will look like a mirror C like this. But if ka is at the end of a word, it will look like this 7 with a slender body written just like this. And it only happens 5 times. So it's ka, it's ma, it's na, it's pa, and it's taza. These forms will be taken if that letter is at the end of the word. These forms will be taken if it's at the end of the word, right? Same letter, different form at the end of the word. At the beginning of the word is top. At the bottom is at the end. At the end of the word, sloppy. So we're gonna move on. You got la, that looks like a question mark. You got ma, that looks like a cursive S with a leaf at the top or like a little strike at the top. But if ma is at the end of a word, it's gonna look more like a box type with a little strike at the top right here. All right. So boom, 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 and that would be ma. Na will look like a little short body C. And then if it's at the end of if na is at the end of the word, it's gonna look like a stuck up slender body 7 right like this. All right. Then you got sa. Looks like a circle with a little strike at the top right there. You got I. It looks like a Y, but this Y dips real far low. So boom. It's not like a short boom. It's like a real far low definition Y. And that's I right there. Then you got pa. This will be at the beginning of the word. It looks like an upside down G. Pa looks like an upside down G in the Tanakh, in the modern Hebrew. But if pa is at the end of the word, it will look like an upside down J. You see what I'm saying? Boom. It look like upside down J. I hope everybody can see that. Then you got taza. Taza looks like a Y, but more like a mirrored Y. And you got this side going all the way to the right and to the left again, and then a little strike from the right to left. So pay attention to that. That's taza. And this is at the beginning of the word. So if taza is the beginning of the word, and if taza at the end of the word, this will be a Y, basically a line that goes up and down, and then you got to strike from the upper right hand side to the middle of the body right there. So these will not be confusing once you study. You can study these first, but remember, eventually when you get comfortable with the modern form, remember to go over ka, ma, na, pa, and taza, because these have to be implemented. Okay? Hope everybody understands. Moving forward, you got qua. Qua looks like a question mark right here, and on the left side, you got a line that doesn't connect to the top. Boom. A line from top to bottom, just don't connect at the top right there. So it's a question mark with a line on the left side from top to bottom. Boom. Then you have ra. Ra looks like a strong 7. Boom. You got sha. Sha looks like the form of W. You got tha. It looks like a 7. And then on this side right here, you got a line going top to bottom with a little kickstand. You know, on your bike, you got like a little kickstand. That's what that looked like right there. So it kicks back. Boom. And that's tha. You need to go ahead and take a picture of this because this is the ancient form in the print, which means the perfect printing style that you can understand it. Then you got the Assyrian Hebrew, or the more modern Hebrew that's in the Tanakh in the printing form. And directly below it, you'll have the modern Hebrew in the handwritten, like you did it yourself, you know, like boom. It's not going to be as perfect as the printed. So this is the same thing as this. This is the same thing as this. This is the same thing as this, and so on. And then you have, like I told you, the one that's at the end of the word. You have the same thing down here that's written. You have the same thing right here, same thing right here. At the end of the word, 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 end of the word. And that's why we say take a picture of this, because it's so valuable in order for you to pronunciate words that you're going to be reading in the Tanakh. With that being said, we're going to go over a couple words in a few. I'm gonna erase this, but what I want everybody to do is focus on this for a few seconds while I do this. This is very valuable. This is very, very, very valuable. If you want to take back your culture from the white man, if you want to take back your culture from the Asians, if you want to take your culture back from the Russians, the Arabs, all that stuff, you got to learn what God wanted you to learn. It's not what I want to learn. It's not what I want to teach. It's what I'm supposed to teach as a inheritance that the Lord gave us. It's not only for me, it's for Hispanics, it's for Native Americans, it's for blacks, it's for all of us. But right now, we just love the white man. Everybody just loves, his history and everything that he does, and we kind of forget what's ours. And what's ours is all them biblical scriptures, and we have to come back to that. Remember, it was written in a certain form, and that certain form that it was written in was Hebrew. Hebrew is our origins is a Hebrew language to speak. Yeah, over captivity, we learn other things, and that's fine. Nobody's telling you not to learn French. Nobody's telling you not to learn Spanish. Nobody's telling you not to learn Russian or whatever you want to learn. But in your process of finding your identity, you definitely want to go ahead and try to include Hebrew into your studies, because that is the only thing that is ours personally, if I would like to say that. Yeah, definitely take a look at that. I'm going to get some real quick. Take a look at that real quick. Take back your identity. What the white man stole, you have to take back. And how you take it back is you implement your studies. It don't have to be nothing but 10, 15 minutes a day, and you'll get it. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, Barakathum to all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar Ilathum, Hashem Yahushua to the sisters. Those are the greetings and the blessings for the brothers and the sisters. Slaki, I was moving a little faster earlier. I definitely want to make sure that I greet y'all appropriately. All right. All right. We're going to get to it. I'm going to move the board over, right? I'm going to move the board over. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah, Ayar. I ain't seen you in a minute, brother. All right, we're going to get to it. We're going to write a couple words on here. But you know what? Let me go ahead and take this off. Reason we're going to take this off is because that's what we went over last week. And that was the Hebrew greeting and salute that I just did for the brothers and the sisters. That's what we went over last week. So if you missed that class, go over that class that we did last week. Next week, I'm trying to put together a class for you know what? I'm not even gonna say it. I'll just do it so that way I don't have everybody on point. But we're gonna go over words right now, right? And it's just gonna be some random words that we go over. Take notes, because you might have to teach these classes. If you're a young man, a trooper, or officer of 50 or something like that, one day you will have to teach these classes and give brothers like me a relief. Not that I'm ever going to give up on the Hebrew, because that's our language, but I definitely want to see another brother rise up to the occasion. That way I can go ahead on the side, help him out. Boom, this is how you do that. Take this route, do that. All right, so in this Hebrew class, right? Oh, Hebrew word. I'm putting Hebrew words, right? Check it out. Follow along. Say you want to tell somebody drop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You remember that word, right? Yeah. Hey, PTSD with that word. Remember this word. You're going to need to know this. Drop. All right? And this is the English form. So, boom. We're going to go ahead and put this English right here. I'm going over words that I know that brothers and sisters definitely gonna have to know moving forward. Keep it simple. Word and word pronunciation and word identity is everything. So drop. So the word drop. Drop. Give me 5. Give me 10. Give me 100. How would you say that in Hebrew? I'm gonna write it. In fact, this is the English, right? This is gonna be the pronunciation. God damn it. You hate these markers sometimes. I'm gonna do it like this. I know my writing ain't perfect, but it's all good. So you got drop in English, going into the pronunciation, and this right here, going into the Hebrew. Right? This word right here, you will hear if you a brother in school, and you're gonna hear it to build you up into a better man. Drop. And how you say that in Hebrew is napai. Remember, everything is always written in capitals. Napai. Alright? So how would you write napai in Hebrew form in the ancient? So if you had a screenshot, you should be breaking this down before I give you the answer. I'll give you a little tip. Boom. Boom. Oh, you know what? My bad. Boom. My fault. You got it. So dropping in English is napai in pronounced in Hebrew. How would you write napai in if you have your screenshot of the alphabet? Alright? I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here. Hopefully everybody follow along. No, pi. No, you got the full form of the letter. Pa, you got the full form of the letter, and you got the I full form of the letter. No, pi. Let's get it. And that is drop. If you have a young man in school, eventually this brother is going to have to learn how to build himself up from a young man into a great man. And how you do that is brothers are going to be challenging each other. And that's one of the words that's going to motivate him to become that man that you want him to be if you're a mother or if you're a father. This word right here builds men. All right, next word I'm going to go is begin. Begin. And that's in English. How you say begin in Hebrew? A call. Remember, everything in capital letters. Alright? So we got begin in English. This is how it's pronounced in Hebrew. So I got the pronunciation. Hakal. And then how would you write Hakal in Hebrew, in the ancient Hebrew? I just give y'all a second because I know I want to give y'all a fair chance to go ahead and try to break it down yourself, because I don't just want to give you the answer, because if I give you the answer, you're not going to learn anything. So you got to use your brain to go ahead and break this down, because if you don't break it down and I give you the answer, it's like you didn't put no effort on your own time to go ahead and try to figure it out. So I'll give you guys at least 30 seconds to a minute. And then whether you got it wrong or right, it's your effort. You tried. Everything is about effort. Nobody ever, as long as you give it 100%, nobody's going to doubt your effort. Begin in Hebrew, the pronunciation is Hakal. Now I'm going to write it. And remember, everything in Hebrew is written from right to left. Let's get it. Ha-ka. Right. Begin in English. It's ha-ka in Hebrew. That's how you would pronounce it. And it's ha. You got ka with the la. It's connected. Boom. Ha-ka. Once you know you got this connected right there, you connect ka and la. You knock off the A. Ha-ka. I'm gonna let y'all sit on that. Get your notes ready. Well, I don't know who house he at. I think you're maybe. All right, y'all sitting on that for a minute. Give me 1 second. Give me a little bit of water. All right. Beginners are called. Next one. All right. Next word. This one word you have to know is stop. You know what I'm saying? In English and in the white man's language, it's stop. All right. S-T-O-P, stop. Everybody see that? My printing ain't perfect, so don't get on me about my writing. Stop in Hebrew is batal. Batal. Boom. So stop in English. In the Hebrew pronunciation, this is it. Batal. I gave you the letter. All you gotta do is break these letters down into how it's formed in the Hebrew. All right. Batal. I gave y'all a little hint. Before I put the answer right here, see if you can break down stop. Stop in English, which is batal in Hebrew. See if you can break that down real quick. This is just brainstorming. This is just, muscle memory. The more we go over this, simple words like that, now you guys know how to say drop in Hebrew, you know how to say begin in Hebrew, and you know how to say stop. Another thing I want to tell you guys, if you see the na, the pa, and the I in the ancient Hebrew, when you go to the modern Hebrew, you just bring them same letters down. The na from the ancient to the modern, the pa from the ancient to the, it's the same thing. So you'll be bringing down 3 letters. Right here, you'll be bringing down 3 letters. That's how you break it down from the ancient into the modern, which is in the Tanakh. You just bring them letters down that is written in the form of the modern, which is in the Tanakh. I hope everybody understands that. All you gotta do is, this is the ancient, right? You'll take this letter and that same letter that's in the more modern version, you just bring it down. Now you got the ancient and the modern version. You just bring them letters down. Same letters, just from the ancient and the modern. You just bring them down and you got it. That's how it'll be written in the Tanakh. It's the simplest way I think I could say it. But tall, right? You got this, ba, and ta. I hope everybody did that. Because this right here, these underlines right here, will basically pronounce it for you. Ba, ta. So you got ba, all right? You got ba, right? So ba. Then you got ta. Then you got la. So you got ba, right? Full form of the letter. Put the accent underneath. You got ta, you got la, no A at the end of la. You know it's gonna connect. Boom. Ba, ta. Like I said, if you want to write it in the ancient, in the more modern or the Syrian form right next to it, just grab that B, bring that B over, Then right next to it, you write the ta, bring that over, bring the la, bring that over. With no connectors though, when you're doing it in Assyrian. If I had enough board, I would have did it, but obviously I'm working what I got. So bear with me, everybody. Again, the water means thank you. The water for everybody who's tuning in and trying to learn this information, this language, because we really need to do better with learning it and utilizing it for the Sabbath service, which is tomorrow at 9 a.m. Definitely tune into Isupk Chicago Sabbath service, where is Officer Mariah, Officer Mayad, and a couple other brothers who are going to be here. Definitely you want to tune into that. All right, so these are the three. I hope everybody got them. I'm going to go ahead and go over a couple more before, I'm going to go over 3 more. All right, hope everybody got that. All right, that's it. Let's get into some more words, right? Next 3 words. We're going to go into breathe, breathe. Breathe is one of the words we're going to go into. We got continue. Boom. And the last word we're going to go into is stretch. Boom. These are the 3 words. So I'm giving you guys a heads up before we get into them. You got breathe, you got continue, and you got stretch. Everything is muscle memory. Pronunciation is everything. In order to understand in Hebrew, you have to be able to pronounce these words properly. Breathe in English is nothing, but when you go ahead and say breathe in Hebrew, that's everything to the Most High. That should mean everything to the Most High and you. Because that's in the ancient form of language that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are supposed to be speaking, or at least using for Sabbath service at the least. All right, so breathe is napak, napak, nah. Remember, all capital letters, all right? Breathe in English is napak in Hebrew. How will we write in the Hebrew? Give you a little hint. Boom. Hopefully y'all can get it. I'm gonna hold y'all up. The whole thing? Like right now? You want to go through the rest of them? No. All right, so we got to go ahead and wait till next week. We're gonna go. I'm gonna leave the board just like this, but we have to get ready for the Round Table of Truth. Everybody tune in. Just like I said, it's on a Black and Brown network. Everybody subscribe to that, and just like that. Shalom Yahaba Hashem Yahshua Brakathum to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shemar Ilathum Hashem Yahshua to the sisters. Next week we'll go over the rest. Slakia Shalom.